Well, hey there, guys. Good afternoon. It is John C. Morley here, sir, entrepreneur, watching me live. Otherwise, you might be streaming me any other time, which is great. It's great to have you here. If this is your first time with me on Inspirations of Your Life, I want to take the opportunity to say welcome and thank you for being here. If you're coming back, I definitely want to say thank you and welcome back. It's always great to have people that come back and enjoy the show and the great content that I produce. We're on the air every single day, but if you do miss us after the show, you can always go to believemeachieve.com to learn more about my short form content, my long form content, reels, replays of shows, articles, and so much more, guys. So definitely check that out. Hey, guys, if you're thirsty, I don't want you to be parched. Feel free to go grab yourself some RO water, maybe a snack, maybe another beverage. It could be something hot, cold, sweet, tart, sour, healthy or not. It's totally up to you. I have some delicious, cool RO water here. Whatever it is, get that and hurry on back to the show. If you guys are just joining us for the very first time and did not know what our master topic is for the week, well, allow me to share that with you, okay? Our master topic for this week, of course, is they're always good master topics. You guys know that. I always have great master topics. We never have a bad master topic. Everyday wisdom on doing what's right, guys. Yes. And so today's granular topic is, you ready? Drum roll. Okay. Vision mastery, seeing, planning, and owning the future of your life. So without any further ado, guys, let's go ahead and kick this show off because I've got a lot to share with you. And I know you guys can't wait to start soaking up this knowledge so you can apply it and make it part of your life. All right, everyone. So welcome to another electrifying episode of the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show, where peak living is not just a dream, it's a reality you create. Okay. And so I think that's important to understand. I'm an engineer, I'm a video producer, and of course, a lifelong graduate student. So I do a lot of great stuff. It is so great to be with everyone here. And I hope that everyone really, is enjoying, I'm going to say is enjoying their November. I don't know exactly what you guys are doing, but I know it's getting cold. Definitely at this time of the year if you're watching us then. Again, you guys know I do so many things from content producing, video production, podcast host, coach, and of course, much, much more. Yes, much, much more, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and kick off this particular show. I think you guys are definitely going to really get a lot of, value out of the show because I think, when we choose to make a difference in our life, that's when life changes. When we choose to make a difference in our life, um, that's when life changes. Um, and so I know that a lot of people, they get stuck in what they're doing because, they look at somebody else like, oh, well, I'm not there yet. Well, everyone's at a different point in their life. And we should never compare ourselves to other people. We should compare ourselves to our yesterday self. All right. Let's get into the meat of the show. And you guys know, of course, I'm a passionate lifelong learner, and my journey has been blessed and defined by infinite amounts of curiosity, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge and growth. Today, I'm here to help you unleash the legendary you, sharing insights and actionable habits that drive lasting success in your life. So let's dive in together in those everyday strategies that will transform ordinary routines into extraordinary living. Are you ready, guys? I know I am. Vision mastery. That's what it's about today. Seeing, planning, and owning the future. Number one, craft a vision so vivid it makes your heart race. Your future starts not with luck, but with clarity. A clear picture of what you want glued to your mind's eye. Break that powerful vision into lean weekly goals that keep momentum alive. Don't just imagine, guys, your destination. Review your vision daily like it's your personal compass, always guiding you back to what matters most. Number two, guys, write your future. story in present tense. Imagine, describe, and believe as though you've already arrived where you want to be. And watch how your convictions pull you forward. Visualize the journey, not just the finish line. There's a lot of beauty in the process. And that itself is very rich with growth and lots of learning, filled with small wins that can make a big difference in everyone's life. Number three, guys, is important, and that is find a vision board that excites you daily. This isn't just arts and crafts, it's designing a visual anchor that activates your motivation with every glance that you have. Build micro routines aligned to your big picture, the goals, success, and allow that to follow when small steps actually echo the larger vision of who you are, your core values, your mission in life. Number four, guys, use affirmations that reinforce your vision. Words spoken with sincerity rewire your mind and ignite beliefs. Share your vision when you put your plans out there. Accountability powers your follow through. That's important, guys. Number five, track your progress visually to stay motivated and, of course, on course. Whether it's a chart, a journal, or a photo log, seeing the journey unfold and letting everyone be part of the milestone where you fuel the next point, and learning to pivot your vision as you grow, because clarity isn't static, it's a living, breathing part of our evolution in life. Number six, guys, clarity and vision saves time and energy. Your vision is a marathon. Pace yourself for the long run, not just those sprints. Surround yourself with people whose visions inspire and align with yours. Number seven, celebrate the incremental progress. I know you don't want to, but it's important that we celebrate those small wins, because then that can fuel us forward to go even further. Every mini celebration cements your momentum. Use setbacks to refine, not reject your vision. Challenges are merely lessons that sharpen your clarity. That's important, guys. Number eight, write down the reasons why your vision matters. When motivation fades, your list brings it back regularly. Declutter goals that don't fit your vision. Focus keeps you nimble. So make sure you keep adjusting your lens to get the appropriate aspect ratio and to get things in clear focus. Number nine, guys, reflect on those visions and the alignment of them. Map your vision against your values for deeper impact. When your goals honor your core fulfillment, well, a lot is going to follow. Success. Number 10, guys. Number 10 can seem a little bit challenging, but it's really important. Invest in skills that power your vision. Use morning routines to prime your mind for focus and achievement. Remember, vision without action is daydreaming. So act every day. If you don't, no one else is going to do it for you. Number 11, guys, teach your vision with passion. I can't express that. That's important. And I think we have to be attuned to that. And when we're tuned, things change in our life. We see the entire picture, not just, as I would say, we have the forest, we have the trees. We don't just see the forest or just the trees. We see the whole picture. Okay. Number 11, guys, teach your vision with passion, as I said. Inspire others to dream bigger through your story and examples. Stay flexible. Big dreams require nimble moves. Number 12, guys, connect goals to emotions. I think that's one that a lot of people don't realize, but it's really very, very important. is that we have to connect our goals to emotions. We're emotional beings. When your heart and your mind unite on purpose, drive is unbreakable and unstoppable. And I think when we can realize that our mind and body actually propel forward when we have emotions that do that. Emotions are like this super, let's say, type of gasoline and fuel that gets us to go forward. Number 13. Resist, 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 even though I know it might come across your path, distractions that blur your vision. Stop that. Visualize obstacles not as threats, but as conquered victories. And I think when we can understand what a victory is, and we can understand how sometimes we may miss something, that miss we have is not something you want to be scared about, but a miss that you can actually tweak. It's like feedback that we can use to change the course in our direction to get the success we want. I know sometimes we don't get the success on day one. I know. So we have to keep working at it, but we can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. That's what Einstein said. If we do that, that's insanity. So we don't do the same thing over and over again. We have to change up what we do so we will get different results. That's key, guys. Number 14, don't be afraid to upgrade your vision. Growth demands new horizons every day. Your vision shapes your legacy. Own it fiercely and let it echo in the actions of each day that you have. By incorporating these practices consistently, you create a culture within yourself and your team where acknowledgement, gratitude, and celebration fuel satisfaction, growth, and performance. And I think that's an important thing to realize, okay? Very, very important to realize. If you don't understand the whole thing, then how are you ever gonna go anywhere? How are you gonna make something of your life? I think that's important to realize that we have to be working on our vision, right? We have to be working on what it is we're doing in life, not because we have to, but because we should want to do it, right? Because we should want to do it. When we think about surrounding ourselves with people, it should be those that are in alignment with our visions and what we want to stand forward with. I think that's a very, very important thing. Celebrate incremental progress with the mini celebrations, right? Use the setbacks and refine, not reject your vision. That's key, guys. Reflecting weekly on the vision alignment is important because if you don't reflect, you don't know if you've gotten anywhere, right? We have to remember, guys, that in our life, we have to be vision centered. But it doesn't mean that we keep thinking about something and then if it doesn't work, we keep thinking about it more. See, if we don't get inspired action and take it, I don't care how much you visualize, you're never going to achieve your goals. I don't mean to be, a party pooper here, but you have to take action with your goals every day. And you have to measure that feedback. If you measure that feedback, then and only then can you make a very, very big difference. Yeah. You can only make a big difference if the emotional level that you have is loud enough. I don't mean loud that it screams, but loud enough that it gets your heart, that it gets your body excited to want to move forward, right? Maybe you have a dream in your life and you're like, well, I'll work on it. If your dream is like I'll work on it when I have time, your dream isn't loud enough. Your dream is not strong enough. You've got to get clearer. You've got to make sure that your vision, first of all, that it's in alignment with your core values. That's number one. In addition to being in alignment with your core values, it has to be able to propel you forward. If it doesn't propel you forward, guys, your dream is it's not strong enough. It's not strong enough. And that's something that a lot of people wrestle with. They think because they've got this dream and they're working on it for so long that it's going to go somewhere. No, your dream has to be so amazing. You know, you have to realize that. You have to understand that it has to be about the one thing in your life, which is the core values. And so lots of people I talk to each day have core values. But when I ask them what their core values are, they're like, well, it's the traits that I want to be like. What do you mean? Well, there's other people and I want to be like them. I said, well, that's not really a core value. So they look at me funny and be like, what is a core value? So I want to go back to Merriam-Webster, and I want to talk about core values because I think this is key to be able to understand what I'm talking about. So a core, okay, in a sense, is the center, right? But what is a core value? So a core value, basically is a value that is centered, right? It means something to us, okay? And it's something that we hold very dearly. So a core, in its sense, is the foundational part, distinct from enveloping part by a difference. And this all comes to us courtesy of Merriam-Webster. The usually incredible central part of some fruit, such as a pineapple, the core of an apple, that's the center part of it, right? And arrangement of a course of studies, the portion of a foundry mold that shapes the interior of a hollow casting, a vertical space, such as for elevator shafts, stairways, or plumbing apparatus, in a multi-story building. A computer memory consists of an array of cores strung on fine wires, broadly. The internal memory of a computer, a tiny donut-shaped piece of a magnet material, such as a ferrite used in computer memories, also used on wires to cut down on interference from the electric that comes through them. A mass of iron serving to, let's say, concrete and intensify the magnetic field resulting from a current in the surrounding coil. So the central part of a celestial body, such as the Earth, the Sun, usually having different physical properties from surrounding parts. A nodule of stone, which often flakes have been struck for making improvements. The conducting wire with its insulation in an electric cable, that's the core, right? Sometimes we talk about our core team, the team that's responsible for everything, right? They're the core team. The inmost or most intimate part doesn't have to be intimate, but it can be. So what does it mean? Now that we understand what that is, what is value? So we put these together. Values is the worth. So the monetary worth of something, a fair return or equivalent in goods, services, or money for something exchange, a relative worth, utility, or importance, something such as a principle or quality, intrinsically valuable or desirable, thanks to Merriam-Webster. A numerical quantity that is assigned or is determined by calculation or measurement. The relative duration of a musical note, relative lightness or darkness of color, luminosity. The relation of one part in a picture to another with respect to lightness and darkness. Now, when we think about values in a verb sense, to consider or to rate highly, to estimate or assign monetary value, to rate or scale in usefulness. So when we think about value, okay, we know what that means now. Core is the center. So the center point that gives us an ROI, right? The meaning that drives us forward. A lot of people I talk to say to me, John, my core values or whatever theirs are. That's not core values. A core value has to align with who you are as a person, why you get up every way. Okay, that's important to realize. If you don't understand why you get up or what you do every morning, I was having this conversation with somebody last night on another podcast where I was a co-host, and I said, when I go to a networking event, so many people ask the question, what do you do for a living? Where do you live? What brought you to this event? What sports do you play? Um, they might ask something like, who are you looking to meet? They may ask that question. And although these are okay questions, they're terrible for networking. They're all about something that may be superficial. Now, exceptionally, the one that says, what do you like to do, the sports. But what I like to do is get very deep with somebody and ask them, why do you get up every morning? What makes you get up out of bed every morning? That's the question I ask. What makes you get up out of bed every morning? And before I can ask it, I need to answer it myself. I get up every morning because I'm a passionate serial entrepreneur and I love creating amazing content and I love helping people have a better life. I get up every morning because I enjoy being a creator, never knowing what I'm going to create each day or what I'm going to be part of, who I'm going to get to connect with, who I'm going to talk to, what impact I might have on their life, or how my impact on their life may affect other people in their lives. So I love getting up every morning because I love life. I love being able to make the choices and to be a deliberate creator. And that happens because I have visions. And when I move closer to those visions, guess what? I get even more excited than I am when I just hear about the vision, which gets me excited. What gets you up out of bed every morning? Some of you might say it's your kids, but what really makes you get up every morning? What is it? I see there's a business that puts out signs and stuff. And, it's an interesting sign. The sign says, wishing you and yours faith, hope, and love, the blessed season. But here's the thing that bothers me. It's not the fact that this business wants to wish you faith, hope, and love. That's not what bothers me. I think that's exemplary. What bothers me is that when I've gotten to meet these business owners, they're superficial. They don't care about the faith, hope, and love. They say they care about it, but when a push comes to shove and you ask them something about it, they come down to saying they're too busy. And what I find out is they're being superficial because they're trying to get an emotional rise out of you so you'll do business with them. I think that's terrible, right? I think that's absolutely terrible. And knowing that is a problem. A lot of people do things to get an emotional rise. I think this happens because they feel it's going to bring them a tremendous amount of business. And although their message is clear, and I think if we can just pause for a moment, I love that people are wishing joy and love and faith for the season. That's great. But when I have a chance to meet somebody and I know that the patient's not as important to them as they think. What's more important to them is the shoes they're wearing than how they're able to help the patient. Now, you might say that I'm being crazy, but I know this for firsthand. I had an opportunity to meet a person, this doctor, a while back. It was at a car show. And when I was explaining something to him, I could see that he was not interested one iota in people. He was just interested in the almighty dollar. Now, I'm not saying the dollar is not important, but when people put up marketing messages, what really hurts me is when they work and they don't really act the way that message reflects. Can we call it fraud? We can. It's not really fraud. It's misrepresentation in one sense. So, each point that I shared with you today here in this episode is designed and crafted to ignite conversation, inspire, sharing, and underscoring the long-term impact of choosing, ladies and gentlemen, what's right in everyday moments. People always say they want to do what's right, but they're really doing it for the money. And you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And what I found is that when you get to know somebody so well that they avoid you, they're playing you. They're placating you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I invite you to browse on over to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see you on another show real soon, a short form content, a long form content, or an article or somewhere real soon. And I hope that when I do again, as well as today, I have inspired you in your life to take a step in the positive direction to become just a little bit better than you were before. Have yourself a great rest of your day or evening. I'll catch you real soon. Be well, everyone. Take care.